new comma project. Then you need to give the name of the project. Once created the project, you just need to right click on the project. You need to create a connection. Once you created the connection, that particular connection, you just need to right click on particular connection. You need to publish that connection to the, when you publish a connection to the repository, it will convert as a secure connection. Yes, once you created the connection and once you publish that connection into the repository, then very next step is you need to right click on the project. You need to create a data foundation. Once you created the data foundation, then you can see this particular window and you can import the required tables into the database data foundation window. And once you imported the tables, you need to make required number of joins. Once you make a joins, you need to check whether it formed any loops or not. If it forms any loops, you just need to resolve a loops by using three techniques. If you have a loop with the three tables, that time you need to go for shortcut join. If you have more than three tables, that time you go for alias. If you have more than three tables, one fact table into resolve by using alias. If you have more than three tables and more than one fact table, that you can resolve by using the context. Once you resolve your loops, very next step is you need to make a classes and objects. In R3 people called as a classes and objects, but in R4 people called as a folder and objects. If you want to make a folders and objects, very next step is you need to make a business layer. Just right click on the project. There you have a business layer. Once you created business layer, it will create this left side window. It will create this left side window. And if you want to make any object, here, any object or any particular what do you call as a class means folder. Two ways you can make. One way is automated method. You can know in automated method, when you create a business layer, in the business layer itself it will ask us to select particular data foundation. When you select that particular data foundation, there you have an option create automatically classes and objects option. That time it will make a table as a class and a column as an object that will automatically create. If you want to make a manually class, you just need to click here and make a folder. Just click on folder, double click on that folder, give the required name. For example, if you want to give a store is the class name. Yes, just give the name as store. Yes, you created class name as store. And if you want to create an object in that particular class, select that particular class, then go to insert. If you want to insert a dimension, just click on dimension. If you want to make a dimension name as if you want to create a new object name called as store name, just double click on that particular dimension name and rename the dimension as store name. And then this dimension object, you need to map with the class, you need to map with the column there in the table. I have a lot of columns. My store name is there here. My store name is called as soft ID. Just click on soft ID. It will map the store name. Now you are mapping with the soft ID. You just need to map. Just double click this. It will be mapped. Now your store name will take a data from softfact.softid. That means whenever the customer is drag and drop store name into the report, the store name keep on will take a data from softfact.softid. That is a way you can create any number of objects. You can make dimensions, you can make measures, and you can make details. But dimension always map with the alphanumeric or character or date column. Measure always maps with the numeric columns, and detail objects always map with the long text or descriptive text. That's the way you can create your objects in the R4 universe. Once you created your objects, you need to go to navigation path. There you can see default as well as custom. Default means by default the system will create a hierarchy for each class, each dimension class. If you have a 4-dimension classes, it will create a 4 hierarchies. For example, when you created the report with the object which is there in the time period class, for example, year, and sales revenue from measures class, when you enable a drill in the report level, if user clicks on year, it take you into the quarter, because the next level there in the time period is quarter, so that user can navigate into the next level. And when you click on quarter, if there is any level in the time period, the user can navigate to next level. But here we have only 2 levels. Now the customer can navigate up to quarter. If the customer want to navigate from time period to product to store, the time what you need to do is, in R4 universe, you need to make a custom hierarchy. Custom hierarchy based on time period, product as well as store. If you want to make a custom hierarchy, you just need to click on custom. Then if you want to make a new hierarchy, you need to click here, insert navigation path. Then there you need to give the name of the hierarchy. For example, you are creating time slash product slash store. It will give the name of the hierarchy. And if you want to add objects for this particular hierarchy, here you have a add. I'm going to add a year. Click on year, and I'm going to add a quarter. Click on quarter, and then product model name. Then if you want to take store name, please take a store name. This time the customer can navigate. When you create a report with the year comma sales revenue, when you enable a drill, the customer can navigate up to year to quarter, quarter to product name to store name. This we call as the custom hierarchy. Hierarchies is basically for drillings. If you have only default hierarchies, customer can navigate up to last level of that hierarchy. If you make a custom hierarchy, that custom hierarchy you can make based on 2 or more hierarchies. That time user can navigate up to 2-3 classes. But in earlier you created year comma sales revenue. Year is there in time period, so up to the customer can navigate quarter. But you make a second hierarchy with the combination of time period, product, store. This time the customer have a chance to select this particular navigation path, and they can navigate up to last level of this particular custom hierarchy. There's a way you can make custom hierarchies. Anyway, that we discussed yesterday. And today's agenda is, we'll see LOVs. Before moving to the LOVs, I just want to explain why you need a LOVs. Why you need a LOVs? For creating a ad hoc report, means web report, in Vivo, there's a tool called as the Web Intelligence Rich Client. Web Intelligence Rich Client. Now I'm going to create a very small web report in the Web Intelligence Rich Client. Let me log on with the Web Rich Client. I hope you know why you need a list of values. List of values is basically to make interactiveness for the end user while submitting input to the prompt. For example, when you create a report with the select class and where class, in the where class when you make a dynamic filter, user keep on clicks on refresh, the report will ask the end user to submit input for that filter. The end user can submit a input in 2 ways. One way is they can type and submit, and second method is they can select from the list. They can select from the list. If you want to give a option for the end user to select from the list and submit input for the prompt, the time the prompt need to display the list. Now let me create a new report on top of same universe. Ours is a sample 3. Then you need to enter your Vivo username password. I told you, once you created a user account, once you have a one user account in Vivo, that you can use for all the tools, all the reporting tools. Then you can see the available classes and objects there in the universe. Then if you want to create a report, you just need to drag and drop the required objects into result objects pane as well as query filters pane. I just want to drag and drop here into query filters pane, and I want to create a results with the year comma quarter comma sales revenue. That's why I drag and drop year quarter sales revenue into result objects pane here into query filters pane. I want to make this as a prompt. Just go to the operand type. There you just need to enable this as a prompt. Yes, you enable the prompt. When user clicks on run query or refresh data, when user clicks on run query or refresh data, this time the prompt will display the list of values. User have a two chances now. User have a two options to submit an input for your prompt. One option is they can type and submit, and second option is they can select from the list. When you give a list, that will make an interactiveness for the customer. Interactiveness means they need not to submit, they need not to type, they can simply select with the window. That means that is the interactiveness. That will make an interactiveness for the end user. Then click on OK. Then this time the report will run for 2004 and 2005. 2004 and 2005. But sometimes end user will ask us, boss, please don't display all the list. Please don't display all the list. Only show me the list of values. Show me the list of values for. Show me the list of values only for, sometimes they'll ask us, show me the list of values only for 1 year, so that my end user can select only one value. Sometimes they'll ask us to restrict the end user to run a report only for 1 year. That time, what you need to do is, you need to restrict these LOVs. That time, please don't show all the list. That time, please don't show the all list of values. You just need to show particular list. My customer is asking to restrict all the customers. What you need to do is, in the list, you need to display only 2005, and type a value you need to hide. When you hide a type a value, and when you display list only 2005, that time the customer can select only 2005 and they can run only report for 2005. They don't have a chance to run for other values. That time they will ask us, how you restrict LOVs for the year object? The reason is this prompt you created on year. They will ask us to restrict data for 2005. List, they will ask us to restrict a 2005. That time what you need to do is, you just need to go back to the universe and you need to go to the year object. You need to go to year object. Here you have a year. First step, you need to double click on year. Let me go to business layer. There you have a year. Double click in year. First, if you want to display the list, in the advanced tab, you need to enable associated list of values. For example, see, you have disabled the associated list of values. Associate list of values. In the year object, advanced properties, you disabled associate list of values. This time what it will happen, let me check. I'm just publishing a universe to the repository now. Publish to repository. Click on next, then finish. You just publish your universe. Then if you want to make a new universe, new report, go to again rich client and go to again rich client. Go to rich client and if you want to create a new report, you need to click on new, select universe, click on OK. Then to select that particular universe, Now you just need to drag and drop year comma same quarter comma and sales revenue. Then when you drag and drop year into query filters pane, when you make prompt, when you run a query, this time it won't display the list. The reason is you have hide the you just hide the you just disable the list of values. You just disable the list of values. That's why the end user have only one chance to submit list. Only they can type and submit a list. But my requirement is I want to show the list, but I want to display the list, but in the list I want to display only 2005 data, not all years. Don't display 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6. Display only 2005 in the list of values window. That time what you need to do is in the universe, in the universe, you need to go to parameters and list of values. You need to go to parameters and list of values. There you have option called as list of values. List of values based on business layer. List of static list of values. List of values based on custom business layer object. That I need to click on here. Click on here. There you can give a new LOV name, and here you have an edit query option. Edit query option. In the edit query option, you can make year, and as well as you can make the prompt here. You can make a prompt here equals to 2005. Here equals to 2005. So this time the list will refresh. List will display only 2005, and as well as in the properties of that particular object, first step you need to enable a list. You enable the list in the parameters and list of values in that particular object. In parameters and list of values for that particular object, you need to make a list as list for. Let me explain again. I just want to close this. Otherwise you can click here. If you want to create a new object, you can. Let me remove this. I just want to remove. I removed this also. Let me remove. I removed. Now when you see here in your business layer, your object properties, in the year advanced property, enable the list. That means now year object will display the list. Very next step, you are going to restrict a list of values for year object. You are going to restrict a list of values for year object. This time you need to go to parameter and list of values. In the parameter and list of values, just here you need to take a list of values based on business layer object. Just click on list of values based on year object, and here you need to give the name of the list. Anyway, I gave a new list. Click on edit query. Now you are going to make a list of values for year, and you are going to restrict a list of values for year is year equals to 2005. Click on OK, and when you click on save file, when you click on save, then when you try to publish a repository, when you publish to a repository, next click on finish, close. This time when you go to the rich client, let me create a new report on top of this saved universe. You just modified one option in the LOV. That means you applied a condition in the LOV, and when you try to create a report, click on new based on universe, and universe name is sample3.unx. Just click on sample3.unx. Now when you create a report with the year comma, quarter comma, sales revenue, run the query. Oh, sorry. You just need to make prompt on year. Go to data tab, edit query, edit, and you need to make a prompt on year. Just make prompt, run query. Okay, sorry, still it is displaying. All right. Okay, then that is the case. What you need to do is, okay, I think so. You created for new list. You need to add a list for what object? Let, let me check. Now, uh, now our goal is in the business layer. You have a time period object called as a year. For the year object, you need to restrict the list. When you double click on year, when you see here, you have a show values. In the show values, it displaying 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. This list I want to restrict for 2005. When you click on show script, there you have a year. If you want to restrict this list, what you need to do is, here you need to write a where. When you see the script, in the script you have a year equals to this particular value. Then if you want to control this particular list, if you want to control a particular list, this particular list if you want to control, you need to edit this particular SQL query and enable, and you just need to edit this particular SQL query, and then you need to make a where condition for this particular SQL query. If you want to edit, you cannot edit here. You need to go to parameters and list of values, and then parameters and this, and you need to edit a SQL query. There, if you want to build a new, for example, see the parameter and LOVs. If you want to make a new LOV, simply create in list of values based on business layer object, or static list of values, or list of values based on custom SQL. First, you need to go to list of values based on business layer. Just you need to go to give the name of the list. I'm just giving a list name called as here, and then you need to click edit query. In the edit query, you just need to drag and drop here, comma, filter on here equals to 2005, then refresh, click on, click on, okay, no problems. Click on OK. When you click on OK, it will create a list called as for the year object, you create a list called as year equals to 2005. If you want to see the list, you can see the list. list. Then when you go to business layer, when you double click here object, show values, still it displaying this. Okay. Uh, the best thing is, instead of creating a new list, here itself you can put a filter. Here equal to, you can make here equals to 2005 year, make here equals to 2005, and then you just need to save it. Let me check. Here you have add filter, year equal to 2005, year equals to 2005, and save as a file. Just give some name, click on save. Now you have a filter, you applied a filter in the list. Then now try to save this. Still it's not applying a filter. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Muted.
Sorry. There is a problem with the LOVs. I think my understanding is. I think my. I mean. I misunderstand the LOVs in R4. Actually, when you see, for example, when you see here, uh, when you see, for example, you have a lot of objects in the business layer. When you talk about a business layer, you created a lot of objects. You know, when you create each object will create a two queries. One query for results, second query for the list. When you make a prompt on that particular object in the report level, when you make a prompt, here object when you see in the report, here object used in the result objects as well as your object used in the query filters. When you run a query, first the LOVs query for year will fire on the database. It will display the list. When you click on run query, this time the LOV query will fire on the database. It will display the list. Then once you submitted that particular value to the prompt, this time the query will fire, the result object query will fire, select year comma sales revenue where that selected value, where year equals to that selected value. Then results you can see for that particular value. But sometimes customer will ask us to display only the list, for 2005, not all the list. They'll ask us to show only 2005. But now it's displaying all the years. It's displaying all values for the year. So in R3, if you want to restrict this list, we just need to go to the year object. Then in the year object properties, where year equals to 2005, if you put where year equals to 2005 in the properties of year object, the time the list of values query will fire where condition on the database, the time the list will fetch only 2005. That means the end user can see only one year value. So the time they can submit only that value to the prompt and report will run for that value. But in R4, the same way, they gave options for restricting the LOVs. There is an option called as the parameters and list of values. In the parameters and list of values, in the definition tab, you can make your own conditions by using edit query. Same like in R3. I applied a condition where year equals to 2005. Now when you see here, I applied a filter called as year equals to 2005. But fortunate or unfortunate, it is not working. It is not working. Still I applied the filter in the where condition. I saved and exported the universe to the repository. But still in the report side, I applied a prompt on year. This query is firing on the database, but query is fetching the list of values. Query is fetching all year list. When you see here, when you see in report level, the list of values query is fetching all values. Normally it need to select year where year equals to 2005. So then it will display the list. Then that particular list you can select and submit. That time the result object query will fire where select year comma sales revenue where year equals to 2005. But now the list is populating all. I think there is a issue. John sir, you have any idea?
Unmuted.
John sir, are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you
Sir,
there? Why
it's
it's
going to
not?
create as a new diamond.
Sorry?
Hello?
Yes,
Create
sir.
a new diamond. Create a new object. I'll show it.
Sure, definitely. Let me create a new object. You want me to create a new object?
Yeah, there you can restrict the value.
Okay, sure. Do you want me to create a month?
No, here is just create new
Or
diamond.
you
New
want me to
diamond.
remove this here?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm deleting. What do you want me to? Uh, Here itself, you can. There is a here object.
Create a new diamond.
Okay, okay. First, let me remove this dimension. Already we have a here, right? You just need to delete now.
Okay.
I just want to delete. Here I deleted. Do you want me to create new object? New
Dimension
dimension and name called as year.
here.
Year and this here you need to map with the
No,
uh, particular object, right?
yes, sir. SQL
In no, one second. This object you need to map with the particular here. Then you need to go to SQL definition, SQL
So that
assistant.
down where you can put the year there.
Here where you can put.
Down. Okay. Select here. Okay. Okay.
I selected the year.
Press OK.
Sorry.
Press OK.
Uh-huh.
Go to the next field where.
This condition is not for the list. This will affect on the result.
Yeah, you can restrict there. That's what I'm telling. Yeah.
Where here, na?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. If we put where year equals to 2005 year, this is not for the list. This will restrict the all values.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
This particular code, whatever you write a query, whatever the query you are writing in the definition tab, the definition tab is for result objects, not for SQL, not for the list. List is there in advanced tab here. In R3, in the properties, you can see the associated list of values. There you can see edit query option. There you can put a prompt. Okay, sorry. See here, I'm really sorry. We made now it will work. Let me check. In here, delete, again delete. I'm just creating a new list here. New list of values based on the business layer. Make this as a new, and I want to create a list of values with the year, and year equals to 2005. Then click on OK. Then you need to go to business layer. In the year, here you just need to take it taking default list. Now we need to take this, you need to associate. I'm sorry. This you need to associate. When you associate this properties, now see the year object will take a list from this new list. The new list query I make as where year equals to 2005. That means the list of values query now submit list as 2005 to the year object. Now I hope it will work. Let me check. Then publish to a repository. Click on next. Click on finish. Then close. Now let me try. I think now it will work. Which client? You know, in in the previous execution is taking from default list. Now I created a one custom list that is with where condition. That list I associated with year object. So now the year object will take a list from that new object whatever you created in the parameters and stuff values. Let me try now. I hope it worked. Now the list you can see only for 2005. And universe name is same, sample 3, and enter your BO username password. Click on login. Yes. Now when you drag and drop year, quarter, comma, sales revenue, prompt on year. Now, when you run a query, the list of values query will refresh now. I think where with the where condition, whatever you created in the prompt and the parameter and LOVs, now it's no, it's showing only this particular list 2005, only displaying 2005, but not all. But still, it displaying the duplicates. I want to display the distinct. That time, what you need to do is in the new LOV, in the edit query, you just need to put what here you need to select what you need to select a distinct. You just need to select view script. Here you can select select. Here you can write distinct, validate, click on OK. This time when you see in the refresh, it will display only 2005. Click on OK, save, file. Now you just need to publish to a repository. Click on next, click on finish, close. Now when you see in the rich client, I just need to close the rich client. Again, let me reconnect with the rich client. Programs, no, your BI client, there you have a, no, web rich client. Now you can take your own universe, your universe sample 3. Click on log on. Now the list you can see only for 2005 without duplicates. Now when you drag and drop year, comma, quarter, comma, sales revenue, and prompt on year, now the list of when you click on run query, first the list of values query will fire on the database. The list of values query you referred with the new list. The new list have a query called as select year, where year equals to 2005. End user can select from the list only 2005. And what you need to do is in the prompt properties, you just need to select only from the list. This time when user clicks on run query, the user only run a report. They can only run for a report what 2005. Even they cannot submit any new value. So now you restricted the end user to run report only for 2005. There's a way you can edit a list and you can make a new list for the object. Now in R4 we have a few different steps for making LOVs, for restricting LOVs as per the end user requirement. For example, in a business layer, when you make an object, for example, you are making an object in the time period class, the object name called object type is a dimension, and the object name called as the month. month is the object name. You created month object name. This time you need to go to SQL definition. Then this month object, you need to map with the desired table dot column. I'm just mapping with the month name. Click on OK. Now month object is taking data from calendar year dot month. This time it will create two queries. One query in the definition. Second query, when you see in the advanced tab, there you enable associate list of values, default query. This query, when it will fire, when you make a prompt on month, when you make a prompt on month, when you run a report in the report level, that time month LOV, whatever you enable in associate list of values, this query will fire on the database. It will take a list and it will display that as a list of values in the prompt. Once you selected a value from the list of values, later it will write a where condition in the definition tab. That time again it will fire a select month where month equals to whatever the value you selected in the list. This object will fire on the database. It will get a data. When you see here, we have a year object in two places. One is in result objects, second in is query filters. When you run a query, first time the query filters year, the year advanced properties. You enable associated list of values. That query will fire on the database. Then it will take a list. Then once you selected the list need to pass as a where condition for the result object pane, object year. That time it will select year. Then the query will fire like select year quarter sales revenue, where year equal to selected value from the list. That time it will fire a query on the database. You can see the data. Okay. Anyway, you are very clear. Nothing is there. If you create an object, it will make one query for taking list and displaying list in the prompt. Now